Hello, everyone. We're continuing our discussion with Michael with regards to the creation of humankind. Just to recap on our last recording, we were talking about the star children and how they influenced the creation of humankind, and how humankind became from the duality of the creator. So if you haven't seen it, please look at the previous recording, because it's just this one is just a follow on from that, and it will give you a greater understanding. So without further ado, Michael, hello.
Hello.
And so today we're going to discuss about the creation of humankind. So please go ahead.
Right. Well, the creation of human. Well, let's look at the book to see what is actually said.
Yeah.
It says, in the beginning, there was just matter which had been emitted by God, devoid of that special essence which is called life. The great God looked upon the world, but he no longer willing that the world above should be inert, but thinking good to fill it full of breaths, or in other words, living spirits, so that its parts should not remain immobile and inert. He thus began on these with use of holy arts as proper for the bringing forth of his own special works. For taking breath from his own breath, and blending this with knowing fire consciousness, he mingled them with certain other substances which have no power to know. And having made the two together with certain hidden words of power, he thus set all the mixture going thoroughly, until out of the compost smiled a substance, as it were, far subtler, purer far, and more translucent than the things from which it came. It was so clear that no one but the artist could detect it. This is basically a breakdown of what God did in order to create man.
Okay.
So it goes on. These were the souls created out of God's very being. In time, they came to be conscious of themselves and looked up at the Father of all. Being sparks of their Creator, as sun rays are emanations of the sun, souls have the power to create due to their ability to know and use the mind. This power became the source of pride and conceit. Souls thought themselves to be equals to the God, and as their punishment were enclosed in watery encasements. This is the nature of human existence, and it is the reason why human beings are a blend of what is physical and what is divine.
Michael, can I stop you there? When it says human beings were enclosed in watery encasements, can we call that the body?
That's what we call the body. Okay. That's what because we know that the body is well over 70% water.
Yes.
And the thing is, this is what's being observed thousands of years before modern science, physics, and technology.
Yeah.
So yeah.
So you can actually say when we were first created, we were energy, spirit. What did you call the that space part of the higher heavens?
The astral plane. The astral plane.
And so that when we became arrogant and conceited, we were then encased in flesh and then taken out of the astral plane onto earth.
That's right. Well, it's because of our arrogance.
Thrown out onto earth. Kicked out.
We
there you are.
We're thrown out. Yeah. Right. So and because we are sparks of the divine.
Yes.
We are the children of light.
Yeah.
We are children of light.
And,
So
and this is
the
why I'm always saying to people that we are an extension of the Creator. We have that power within us, but we have forgotten. And as you said in the previous video that we did, we came through this veil. So when we got kicked out, we came through the veil to cut all that off. And so now we have to regain, the knowledge is within us, but we now have to prove ourselves worthy for that knowledge to handle that and be as we should be.
absolutely.
Yeah.
That is the whole purpose. That is the whole reason for our existence on earth
Yeah.
as human beings, right? We are the highest expression of divine incarnation,
Yeah.
but we, due to ignorance, due to the veil, which is, the veil of Aset, which is come down in our minds when we were thrown out of the astral plane, we've
From
forgotten.
your reading just now, when you were describing how the Creator created us, it would appear that he put a lot of effort. It would seem that he put more effort into us than the gods.
Well, you see, this is I wouldn't say so much more effort, but there was a lot of effort put into the whole of creation,
Yeah.
but human beings hold a very special place,
Yeah.
right?
It seems we are very special. So
Indeed, this is why when you see pictures of the gods and goddesses of Kemet, they generally have an ankh in their hand, ankh for life.
and the Ankh again is that loop, and then
It's
it comes at the level, and then the cross. So it's like a cross, but instead of the top being straight, it's looped. For those who are not familiar with the Ankh.
right. Well, the ankh, the round bit at the top of the ankh, essentially represents eternity. That is the ancient Kemetic symbol for eternity,
Okay.
and it's eternity tied together with mortality.
Mortality.
Right.
Okay.
So the lower part of the ankh represents the physical or
Physical.
mortal domain.
And
So
the upper
we're a
part.
combination. The upper part, we're a combination of the spiritual and the physical tied together and held together. And that's what it takes to make a human being.
And this is what you call duality.
That is duality.
Good.
That is duality manifesting in us as the highest expression of creation.
The physical with the spiritual.
Yeah. All right. So the let's continue to see what effect our creation had on us in order to put us in the position that we are in terms of being thrown out or kicked out of the garden, which is the astral plane.
Yeah.
The great God continues. Sorry, my apologies. I've lost track of where I am. This power became the source of pride and conceit. The souls thought themselves to be equals to the god, and as their punishment were enclosed in watery encasements. This is the nature of human existence, and it is the reason why human beings are a blend of what is physical and what is divine. The great God decreed that love and necessity should be the lords of life. Right? And further, the Lord of all said, "Know, all of you who are set under my unaging rule, that as long as ye keep you free of sin, you shall dwell in the fields of heaven. But if some cause of blame for anything should attach itself to you, ye shall dwell in the place that destiny allots, condemned to mortal wounds.
Mm.
So that means essentially that if you're not free from sin, that you will keep reincarnating into the world of time and space, and to have to undergo and relive all of the pain, suffering, and all the things that befall human beings on a daily basis as we go through life.
So this is what we call cause and effect. And this is why when I say to people, we create our lives. So we are co-creators. Although we are the divine and the divine watches and has decreed certain things, we have that free will. So whatever we create, we also partake of. So if you treat people nicely, it comes round back to you. If you treat people not so nicely, it comes round back to you. So everything you do, or everything we do as human beings here on this earth, we have to experience. And I think this is also the case, Michael, as you say, we are born time and time again until we raise our conscious level, to that of light, of being one with the creator. And therefore we will keep on coming back, experiencing that which we have created. So if we raise our conscious level to a level where we create that beauty and love around us, and by the way we treat one another and the earth plane, we will then also experience that. And in so doing, we have risen to the light. That's
Right.
the game of life.
And the divine has placed a law in the form of Meskhent, the goddess Meskhent,
Okay.
who actually represents the karmic
Cause and effect. Karma.
karma
Karmic. So the
causes, that's the
goddess.
karmic nature of creation,
And
right? So that
what's her name again?
Meskhent,
Mescanet. Okay.
right? So basically, you know, when we think that we're doing something, whether it's good or evil, and that nobody can see us because there's nobody around,
Yeah.
eyes of the divine are always in, because the divine is within us anyway. So
Thank you.
even if there's no one around, the
Yeah.
divine can see through our actions what's going on,
Yeah.
and give the correct payment for whatever we do. So if we do good, we'll get rewarded by
The actions
blessings.
that we get back will be good,
Right. And if we do evil, then we shall be rewarded by evil.
because we create it, we have to experience it. That which we create,
Absolutely.
we experience. Cause and
That's
effect.
right. That's right. So the great gods continued. If then the things imputed to you, to your charge be slight, leaving the bond of fleshly frames subject to death, ye shall again embrace your origins in heaven. So if you're diligent, and if you seek to know yourself and to know the divine, you will regain your place in heaven once more.
Yes.
You will regain your place in the garden,
Yeah.
in the netherworld,
Because
right?
in seeking to know the divine is your desire to be at one with the divine.
And as I said before, that is the goal of
Of
every
life.
human being,
Yeah.
right?
Of
Every
life.
human being should be desiring to get back with the divine in
That's
order
right.
to not have to experience the traumas of life over
Yeah.
and over again.
Yeah.
We've been here for for millions of years already,
Yes.
since creation,
Yes.
right? There are really nothing
New.
new coming into creation,
Yeah.
right? the whole of creation, if you actually look at creation, it's represented by circular symbols.
Yeah.
For example, the earth is circular, the sun is circular,
Yeah.
the universe is circular, the movement of the galaxy is circular, right? Everything is a circuit, moves in a circle. So therefore, life in the physical, once the physical life is over, passes to life in the spiritual, right? Which when that is over, goes back to life in the physical.
Mm.
And it's a continuous
journey
going round and round and round
until we evolve.
Until we evolve and break the circle on the
That's
cycle
right.
of reincarnation and remain with the divine.
Yeah.
In order to do that, we have to bring the lower nature, which is set, into subjection, which is where he's supposed to be. So then he, as our ally, would then fight the serpent of chaos, Apep. Apep controls the world and tries to stop Ra and creation from developing.
Mm.
Apep is the one who tries to make creation go back to its original primeval state.
Of confusion.
Of confusion, right? Of disorder, right? So when we look at, for example, a mountain, we, believe that mountain has been a mountain forever, and it will remain a mountain forever. But that is not the reality. That is not the truth of the situation. A mountain and everything flows back to a level state. The mountain is trying to get back to a horizontal level flat state. And through the process of erosion, this is why it happens, right? For example,
it's really trying to reach a balance, isn't it?
It's trying to get back to its original state.
Yeah.
Right.
Of harmony.
Its primeval state of nothingness, with that being without structure, without shape, without form. Right? Because remember, everything flows from a primeval ocean.
Yeah.
Which is an ocean of energy matter.
Yeah. Yes.
Right? And it was just energy matter and nothing else until Ra emerged and creation came into being and things began to take, form and shape. So it's trying, everything is trying to return back to its formless state. This is why when, for example, a body dies, it decays. Decay is the atrophy that's bringing things back to its natural state. So this is what everything. This is what Apep, the serpent of chaos, is trying to do with creation. Right? He's the negative of Ra.
Yes.
Just like Set is the negative of Asar. Right? Yeah. So Apophis is the negative of Ra, the creator. So Ra creates, Apophis destroys. He's a destroyer, right? And a funny thing is, Apophis also represents the waves of the mind. So when your mind is in constant motion and never at rest, it is Apophis. When you say, "Oh, I don't have time to think," that's Apophis. Confusion.
Creating confusion in our life, uncertainty.
Right. Well, this is the thing. When Apophis is creating confusion in the mind, the manifestation is the person acting in a confused fashion, right? So Apophis is always trying to stop Ra or the process of creation from continuing, right? What the process of creation continuing is what we call evolution.
Yes.
Right? So Apophis is trying to stop that action.
Yeah.
So that
Stop us
everything
from
returns,
evolving.
so that everything returns back to its primeval state.
State to our highest level.
Well,
Yes.
to the state of where there is no form or shape.
Shape or form. Yeah.
Right.
Nothingness. Yes.
Right. So basically, yeah, that's what's going on out there. Right. So he says that if you shall commit some greater sins, and with the end appointed of your frames, i.e., when you die, right, and you be not advanced, because each day we're supposed to be moving towards a spiritual nature.
Yes.
As opposed to just being an ordinary human being, right? This is the thing that separates the ordinary human from what is regarded as the superhuman.
Yeah.
Because the superhuman is a person who's connected to his divine nature, and
Yes.
is therefore allowed to use the power of the divine to help him or herself as well as others, i.e., the example given by the Christ in the Bible is the example of one who's become a superhuman. And when you become a superhuman, you have the right to call yourself a son of God, a Sarah, according to Kemet. Sarah means son of God, which is what Jesus was accused of being during his time of the Bible, in his day.
Yeah.
Right? Because
So
he was doing righteousness,
yeah.
and he was performing miracles.
So we can see, and as you said, he was performing miracles, and Jesus did say, "As I am, so you are," and he was telling humankind that you can be as him. You just have to understand how he went about things. And this is why when he was saying, follow me, he meant follow him in the sense that do as he does. He studied, he meditated, the way he treated people, the way he thought, the way he was thinking. And that if you did that, you would become as Jesus. You would unlock the power that is within you. Jesus never meant us to continue to hold on to his shirt tails for all humanity, for endless. He meant us to learn from him and to take the action. And if you don't, no good holding on to his curtails all the time. It is to be as he is, as we are naturally. That's why he, like Buddha, Muhammad, all the rest, were examples of how to live our life, how to be. And it didn't matter what religion, these people came to show us the way of how to live so that we could be like them. They might be super beings, but they did the work. It's like going to the gym. If you don't do the work to build your muscles up in the gym, you're not going to get the muscles.
Mind, body, and soul.
Mind, body, and soul.
Right.
Michael, this is so wonderful. Please continue.
Right. Well, the father continued, but if you think to do something else unworthy of me, your mind shall lose its sight, so as to think the contrary of what is true.
Yeah.
This is why people fall into so many problems, because when someone is saying to them, look, this is what you should be doing, and like, for example, a spiritual preceptor, or I would say a a pastor or a priest, but half of them don't even understand spirituality themselves. So it's a case of the blind leading the blind, honestly, right? But when a person understands fully, right, what they're supposed to be doing, and they get to the stage, as I said earlier, where they realign themselves with the divine, or with the divine nature, the light of the divine shining within them, right? The power of the divine should begin to manifest within them as well, right? Through spiritual powers.
This is it, of which
Right?
we originate from.
And once the spiritual powers are awakened in a human being, there is absolutely nothing that another man can do to them. See, like how we're going through this COVID and all of this stuff that's going on,
All the
right?
way around the world.
All the way
Different
around,
things,
right?
not just COVID, but so many other things.
Right. Well, COVID is topical at the moment, hence my use of it, right? And nothing. There is absolutely nothing that will be able to touch you physically or spiritually once you've aligned yourself once more with the divine.
Okay.
Right. So anyway.
Well, can I stop you there, because as I said, it goes on into a deeper and a deeper subject, and I think these nice little bite sizes are just that, for bite size. So I'm going
just
to
finish with one thing.
Yes.
Can I just need to finish this little thing, because now we're coming to the embodiment process.
Okay.
Right. But the more righteous you are who stand upon the threshold of change to the divine estate shall among men be righteous kings and genuine philosophers, founders of states and lawgivers and real seers, real prophets, right? And true herb knowers and prophets of the gods, most excellent, skillful musicians, skilled astronomers, and augurs wise, communicators, sacrificers, as many of you as are worthy of things fair and good. Right? So, Jehuti, the god of wisdom, was given the task of making the bodies for the spirits.
Okay.
Now, remember, because actually, did I go through that part? I actually missed out something, Zenzi.
Okay.
Right. Actually, I didn't. But the part that says that where the spirits that were created by the divine was far subtler than the things that all put together. The elements that were put together.
This is what I said. We're kind of special. It seems
we are
like
very special. Right. So anyway, because of our arrogance, because our uniqueness within creation, we became arrogant and big-headed. And this was the story that was given in the book of Isaiah concerning Lucifer, where it says, "How art thou fallen from heaven, O Lucifer, son of the morning? For you said in your heart, I will be like the Most High. I will ascend above the stars of God. I will sit upon the mount of the congregation." Right? That arrogance that was in Lucifer is the arrogance that was in mankind that caused him to be thrown out of the Garden of Eden, out of the astral plane, right? So when he was thrown out,
plane, onto earth.
When he was thrown out, the task of or his punishment was to be placed in bodies and have his powers restricted, i.e., again with the veil of asset coming down once he's been put in the bodies. So it
The veil
says,
of amnesia. Yes.
as
Forgetfulness.
as the it says, after saying this, the Great One returns to the original state, i.e., back into heaven, and Jehuti oversaw the process as the souls entered into bodies. As this embodiment process occurred, the great earth spirit, which would be Geb,
Okay.
the father of Asar Aset Heru,
That's correct.
arose and questioned Jehuti. He said, what are these encasements which the souls are entering into? Jehuti answered, men. Then the spirit said, it's a daring work, this making man, with eyes inquisitive and talkative tongue, with power henceforth to hear things, even which are no concern of his. How often does that happen? Huh? Dainty of smell, who will use to its full his power to touch on everything.
This
Right?
is why I was saying humankind is very special.
We sit at the uh, of the pinnacle of creation,
Yeah.
and as was stated earlier on, we're represented by the Ankh, and every
Duality.
of the divinities, of the main divinities, carry Ankhs. So this is the highest expression of the divine in creation.
And looking back on what you said previously and talking about the Ankh and showing us that these gods are positive and negative. Asar, Aset is positive, Set and Nephet was negative. But when it came to humankind, we have the two, and that is the duality.
Well, the thing is, yes, I mean, the duality, like I said, started from pre-creation time.
Yes, because we are as much as I say that, when if everybody who if you've listened to our previous videos on this creation and you follow the line back, because we're coming from this and we're coming from that and we're doing that, and that came from this and that came from, and it all goes back to the divine. And so
remember,
therefore, when I say we are a spark of the divine, we are carrying both. As Michael has shown us in these talks, you have the positive, the negative, the positive, the negative, this one, that one. It's one coin with one coin with two sides. Yeah, all coming back to the one. And we are carrying, unlike the gods where you got Osiris and Set and Nephet, you have humankind who within its encasement is Asar, a Set and Nephet within,
heaven and earth.
instead of having them separately and yet coming back. Humankind has everything within, and that's why I say we are very special. But boy, we have a task to overcome.
It is.
But we can do it.
It is, but it's not insurmountable. It can be
It's
done.
not insurmountable, and because we were created like that in the astral plane. This is why I said we're special. A lot of work went into us to carry that duality. The others are separate and then becoming one, and yet they're not separate because it's all coming from the one. We were created with everything.
Well,
So
see, the thing is this, right? We, as a result of duality and coming into creation, we see now everything is different. There's you, there's me, there's females and there's males. There's up, there's down, there's black, there's white, there's positive, there's negative, there's
which
left,
can cause confusion.
right? And that's part of what's caused the confusion.
Yes,
But
because we're all one.
when we were in Eden, in the astral plane, and even in Genesis, it says that when Adam and Eve were in the garden, they spoke to animate and inanimate objects, right? They spoke to the trees, they spoke to the rocks, they spoke to the grasses, they spoke to the stars, they spoke to everything.
Stars, everything.
Right? That's because in the spirit world, everything is unified.
Yeah.
Everything is one. There is no separation. It only happens when you come into creation. When they got thrown out of the garden in the story, Adam and Eve, and they were kicked out and, barred from going back.
Yeah.
That's where everything went south.
Yes. Everything went AWOL.
Everything went up the creek.
Went upside down.
Right, and the whole point of,
and that's because of arrogance. That is because of our arrogance.
It's because of ignorance.
Arrogance and ignorance
in the first place.
Yeah, arrogance and ignorance.
Because we thought
we weren't ready.
The Creator, right, and that's why he put us encased us in these bodies, and threw us out of the garden.
Yeah.
Right, but like I said, it says before, as much as who live in righteousness can return to that former state, and enjoy the pleasures and the benefits of being one with the divine. Right. Well, so it's a deep process, and we do occupy as humans a very unique position. And we really don't understand it until, we really get into spirituality.
Thank you.
And this is what it's all about.
And there I'm going to stop, because I know you can go on, I can go on much more. But I think it's a lot for people to take in. It's a lot of wow. And, as I keep on saying, we are spiritual beings with a physical body, having a human experience. And what is happening in the world today, we are being shaken to awaken that which is within. It's time for us to stand up and be who we really are, because it's all within us. And so many things are happening around the world to make us realize it doesn't matter what religion, what color, what culture, what creed, we're all coming from the same. And basically, what is life about? To be happy, to be loving, to be caring. And there is enough on this world for all of us. Mm-hmm. So for the time being, I'd like to say thank you for those who are watching this video. There is so much more to discuss, but I do feel that when we're talking about humankind, we really need to bring this out in a way that we can understand down to earth how these spiritual things and creation are affecting us, how they mold us, and how they made us into who we are and what we are capable of. So I hope you've enjoyed it. And Michael is an expert. We've taken this knowledge from Kemet. For those of you who want to go further, please contact me. I will pass you to Michael, who can answer any questions that you may want to ask him or look into much deeper, and even let you know what books and things that you can have to look into this, because this knowledge is about humankind and how we can overcome the obstacles we're facing on this world, our unhappiness, because we're meant to be happy. We're a spark of the Creator.
That's right.
There's no reason why we should not. We've just forgotten, and it's time to remember. So, Michael, thank you very much. And to everybody, thank you for listening, and bye for now.